I started varsity as a sophomore as well. I think the earlier you play, the speed of the game may shock you. But if you're able to play at a young age, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, as the years progress, the game gets slower to you. So by that time, if you're paying attention to the coaches, being disciplined within the game plan, you should be in the correct spot. I came up through the Clinton Boys and Girls Club system. In the 80s and 90s, it was the weight class, 75, 85, 95, 110. So those guys that were in the weight classes, a year, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds heavier than I watched them go into McNamara, and I never got to play with them on the Boys and Girls Club level. Coming to McNamara and then being able to play with them and compete against them in practice, I think at that point, I realized, okay, I could compete because I really looked up to those guys in front of me.
He did it all for us on that '94 team. His senior year, he did everything. And the great thing about him, from a quarterback standpoint, I always knew he was going to be where he was supposed to be. And if I threw the ball anywhere in his area, he would get it. And even risking hard hits, which I do apologize, Paul, for setting you up on a few of those hits. But I was confident that if I threw it up there, Paul was going to come down with the football, and true to his nature, he always did. He always made the play.
I think where I excelled athletically was just being a student of the game.
Every Monday, we would watch film of our previous game and the next week's opponent. Paul was one of the few who actually used film as a way to gauge the next opponent, to really see what their tendencies and weaknesses were.
Playing in the secondary, if I'm over a tight end, knowing the tight end's 30, 40 pounds heavier than me, instead of, dropping back into coverage fast, you take your time, you bounce, you read, play underneath the tight end. If I'm getting beat by a tight end, I shouldn't be playing in the secondary. Little things like that. Just the mental approach, knowing if a receiver lines up so many yards outside the hash mark, the type of routes that he's more likely to run. Just the tendencies. Football's a game of tendencies. Once you know those tendencies, once you know how many plays a team has, from there it's just reading and pre-snap recognition.
When you went into a game against DeMatha or St. John's, he would come in your ear and say, okay, this is what this team is going to do if they line up this way, or they're going to send the blitz here. Look for me right there. And he was right. He was right. And that came from film study. He was the only one smart enough to say, that's where I'm going to gain my competitive advantage.
It'll be a humbling moment for me. I'm honored. Just again, the names that I know that are in the Hall of Fame, to be honored with those people: Bernard Joseph, Arthur Horn, Chris Kosh, fellow classmate of mine, Andrew Merkel, and the list goes on and on. It's a humbling experience to know that, to be recognized with these folks, and to know that, my name will be there for years to come.
Big time players make big time plays in big games, and that's what Paul Jackson did.